Okay.
Niet te veel, hè? Ik was zo blij dat jij gewoon stond. Kan je niet voorstellen. Ondanks dat we...
They say all good things must come to an end, and so it goes with Roy's part in our journey. There was no grand farewell, just a quick goodbye and a shared look that said more than words ever could. As we rode off toward Mang Den, Roy stayed behind, a chapter gently closing. But something in his smile hinted that this wasn't really goodbye, just a pause until the next adventure. The morning greeted us kindly. Dry skies above, a welcome change from the rain of the past days. George, ever cautious, threw on his poncho just in case, while I stayed hopeful. Something in the air told me we were riding under the clear sky today. But something didn't feel right. As I let go of the handlebars for a second, the bike slapped side to side like it was trying to throw me off. I glanced down, noticing my front tire didn't look quite right. It wasn't just a wobble, it was more than that. We decided to turn back the two-style motorbike, taking no chance, better to be safe than sorry. Once I stopped and looked a closer look, the issue was clear. My front tire was completely worn down, and to my surprise, I had a puncture in the back too. No wonder the ride had felt so unstable. So the next day, we are back. My tire has also a puncture, and the front is done. So they're gonna change it. So lucky by an accident, like George always says.
I'm always lucky. Luck follows me around everywhere I go. Same with.
After the mechanic worked their magic, getting me a new front tire and patch up the rear, I couldn't help but feel a wave of relief. I thanked them for their help, feeling grateful for how quickly they got me back on track. With the bike finally sorted, we hit the road again, and this time we were flying. The bike felt solid beneath me, the tires gripping the road like they were meant to. Mang Den is a small, sleepy village hidden in the Kontum province, quiet, surrounded by forests and not much tourists. We chose this place for a reason, not because it is bustling or known, but because it offers something better, a break. You see, our destination for this leg is Nha Trang. Getting there in one shot would mean a punishing 15 hours ride. Sure, there is a shorter, more direct route, but it cut through big roads clogged with trucks and chaos, not exactly the kind of journey we were after. We prefer the smaller road, the one that winds through the landscape and stories, not honking horns and engine fumes. So Mang Den became our halfway heaven, a place to breathe, stretch and maybe even share stories over a warm meal. We had 261 kilometers ahead of us, just more than 6 hours of riding, close to 7 or 8 with breaks. The road unwound like a ribbon through the hills, smooth and almost meditative. For the first 3/4 of the ride, everything aligned, like traffic, sweeping views and a warmth we hadn't felt in days. It was one of our stretches where the journey itself feels like a destination. Pas op hè. Pas op hè. Lekker filmen jongen. But just as we began to close into Mang Den, the weather decided to test our patience one more time. The clear skies we would enjoy all day began to fade, slowly swallowed by the creeping fog that thickened with every kilometer. The temperature dropped sharply, setting back into the stubborn 12 degrees Celsius we were hoping to leave behind. And then, of course, the rain. Like at first, just enough to smear the edge of the visor. But as if the universe was throwing us one last curveball, we managed to arrive just in time. As we pulled into the accommodation, the sky opened up and the rain came pouring down in sheets. For those last 20 minutes, I could feel frustration bubbling up. After 2 days of riding through rain, I was just done, cold and tired. When we finally were into the homestay, the first order of business wasn't finding the sights, it was finding warmth.
Không vai khô cả. Hả? Đây nè. Đấy.
So we have arrived in Mang Den, and today ride was beautiful, and it's also very nice because our speed was average 70-80. My tires were not good, that's why we need to fix it, and we lost like maybe an hour. We drove at high speed at 70-80 and sometimes 90, so we were able to make up a lot of lost time. And the most important thing is that we arrived safely, and at the last, I guess the last half hour, the fog were kind of very thick, so we can't see anything anymore, and we drove very slowly behind a car, and it was cold and it started raining again. So yeah, just unlucky with the weather this year, but yeah, you know what, next year better. For you that don't know this place, it's really beautiful, but it's raining a little bit, so I will show you guys later on. I will go outside and film the surrounding of this homestay. So this is my little garden. I guess I can open it. Yes. So we have banana trees and look beautiful outside when you can sit here and have coffee. But for now it's raining a lot, so not a great time to have a coffee outside. But in the room, I will show you my bed. It's clean and it looks nice, and I need to turn on the heater because in the room it was not 25 degrees. And my bathroom, the sink, the shower, everything is clean and it's great. This is one of the most beautiful homestay that until now. I had plans though. As the rain continued to pour outside, I hope to take a little walk around the homestay, capture some of the charm of this quiet place with my camera. The misty landscape, the green hill, the little details of the village. There were plenty of story hidden in those shots. But the weather had other ideas, and with the rain hammering down, my videos plans were officially shot. So instead of roaming with a camera, I did the next best thing. I cranked up the heater, pulled the blanket over my head, and just let the warmth of the room melt away the frustrations. As the evening settled over Mang Den, the rain stops and we decide to step out and try some local swear-by, the famous barbecue chicken. The air had a damp edge to it, but the smell of the grilling chicken in the evening air was enough to pull us away from the warmth of the homestay and into the small local eatery. We sat down, eager to sink into something hearty after a cold ride. The barbecue chicken arrived sizzling on a platter, its skin perfectly crisp, smoky from the grill. The seasoning, just the right balance of spice and sweetness, making each bite better than the last.
Dạ con cảm ơn.
Cất đôi đó tụi con.
Wait, stomer van af. Takes two, man. That's two. That's two. Gloves on.
Lekker warm zijn.
It's freaking hot because it's straight from the barbecue right there.
Ja.
Yes, barbecue. Big ass barbecue. Last year I ate two chickens. Two chickens one night.
In je eentje gewoon.
Nee, mijn neven.
Oh, ik wou zeggen. Had je nog salade bij besteld?
Ja. And this one is a famous banana salad. Banana leaves. The next morning didn't exactly greet us with sunshine and optimism. The fog had crept back in, wrapping the road in its grey embrace. But at least the rain had taken the day off. Still, the dampness in the air clung to everything, making the ride feel heavier than it probably should. The first half of the route took us along the famous East Cheongshan Road. For the first 20 minutes, I couldn't shake the feeling of uncertainty. The road felt like a quiet challenge, slippery, still damp from the last winter's rain. You could see it clearly, patches of moss creeping up the sides like nature's subtle warning signs. Those slick dark green spots weren't something you would want to mess with, especially on a bike. Every turn, every shift in the throttle felt like a delicate balance between caution and adventure. But then something changed. The air cleared up a bit and the road began to dry under a soft morning light. That's when it happened. Something clicked, the hesitation left. We gave the throttle a little more twist and the bike came alive, responding with a kind of power that made the road feel like it was ours. The East Junction opened up in front of us, wide and inviting, and it felt like we were finally in sync with the road. The sun, our elusive friend, made its grand return for the third time on the entire trip. It wasn't much, just a brief burst of golden light, but after days of fog and rain, it felt like a victory. Underneath our helmets, we couldn't help but smile. Big, white grinds that only the road can bring. The warm sunlight on our face, even if it was just for a moment, felt like the universe giving us a little nod of approval. With that, we couldn't hold back any longer. It was a switch that had flipped. We cranked up the speed, pushing the bike harder, the wind whipping past us as we raced toward Nha Trang like a pair of madmen, and we were flying. welcome back. Today we had a ride of 400 kilometers. We thought we have to ride for like 10 hours, but the road were great, really, the road were great. So we shortened it to 7.5. So we made it up for 2.5 hours. We rode real fast, but it was safe. The road was not that busy. Yes, a few trucks, and sometime I will show you the videos later that it was a little bit tricky, but hey, I survived, I'm still alive. And I've arrived in Nha Trang. This is my hotel room. I will show you guys. Well, I have a big ass bed. So you see the pillows and the bed is massive. So I think there's 2 beds. They are nearly together. Of course, transparent windows in the bathroom, so you can watch your lover showering or shitting. Yeah, standard, everything is standard, but the view is amazing. I can see Finpool over there. I can see Hong Kong over there, and I can see the beach. So this time of the year, the beach is not that great because it is between the changing season of raining and dry. So the sea is kind of rough and it's not that clear. Last year I was here also in this same hotel. The sea was emerald green, but this is not that green. It's a little bit muddy, sometimes brown, sometimes green. And the funny thing is, I have an extra door. You can open it, and there is the room of George. But I'm not gonna do it right now. Maybe he's naked, so fuck it. Yes. A friend of mine from the Netherlands had made his way to Nha Trang, joining us from Phan Thiết. He showed up on a 150cc scooter, but it really didn't matter. I will show you in the next episode what I'm talking about. After settling in and catch up with our friend, we decide to dive straight into one of Nha Trang foodie gems, the famous beef barbecue. The place was buzzing, the sizzling sound of the meat on the grill filling the air. We didn't overdo it though. The goal wasn't to gorge ourselves, but to sample a bit of everything this city had to offer. We paced ourselves, sharing a few plates, savoring the tender beef cooked to the perfection, and dip it into the rich, tangy sauce that made our taste buds to do a little happy dance.
Boven zitten.
Ja.
Die mensen klein die moet vluchten. Dat is wel leuk. Ja. Dat is toch 79 maanden. Dat is wel leuk. Maar nogmaals, ik heb nog niet.
Maar je bent wel uitgegeven al.
Maar dat wordt een zoekgesprek. Maar dat is nu nog geweest. Ik denk dat ze gesnapt zijn.
Waar nou jouw woonplek vroeger altijd? Extern, af en toe klusjes, af en toe vakantie. Goed verdienen dat je op stand kan.
Maar moet wel kijken.
Huh?
But we were just getting started. After a long walk, we ended up at a local spot tucked away from the hustle We ordered fresh salads, some sweet sour pork ribs, and having some cold beer.
Gewoon denken hier was cadeau.
Huh?
Gewoon denken hier was cadeau.
Ze hadden geen tijgerbier, ja jongens.
Eigen hebben ze wel hè, in Nederland.
Ja, dat kan wel, hadden zij niet.
Later we ended up back at one of the most iconic spots in Nha Trang, Sailing Club. The atmosphere here was a perfect match for the night, laid back but lively, with a rhyme that invited you to unwind. A fire show from a Filipino troupe lit up the beach, flames dancing against the night sky. It felt like the kind of spectacle that only Nha Trang could offer. Raw energy mixed with the cool sea breeze. The drinks were flowing, the food kept coming, and the vibe was spot on. We soaked it all in, feeling the pulse of the beach, the crackling fire, and the laughter of strangers turning friends. As the nights were on, we knew it was time to slow down. The road had been a long one, but tonight we let ourselves just be, letting the sea breeze and the good company carry us through. Eventually we called it a night. No rush, tomorrow would come, but tonight we were in the moment.